Hola, amores. Okay, so I want to take you somewhere for a second. I want you to picture a field in late spring, okay? The kind of golden hour light that makes everything look like a painting. And at the center of it all, there's a bull working a plow up the row, one careful step at a time, while the wind moves overhead and the birds pass by and somebody's radio plays in the distance with the news doing whatever the news is doing this week. Everything on the surface is moving, and the bull is the most powerful thing on that field. That bull is this Taurus new moon. And the question this lunation is putting on the table is one I think most of the content this month is going to miss. So sit down with this one. I really mean it. We're going to take a second. We're going to talk astrology and see how it affects you. Now, while everything around you is changing all the time and you're making countless decisions every single day, the power and momentum of your clear intentions is the steady undercurrent of your life. And this lunation on a deep planetary level is asking you to tend to the undercurrent of it all. On May 16th, the sun and moon meet at 25 degrees and 58 minutes of Taurus, with the moon in her exaltation, her single best placement in the entire zodiac, sitting right at the threshold where Taurus ends and the next chapter of mental quickening begins. The work this new moon is asking for you is to be patient and to be quiet and to be very much yours. Now, let me show you the chart that makes her so powerful. The sun and moon are joined at the end of Taurus, conjunct Mercury, which means whatever this new moon is planting, you're going to feel it as a clarifying act of like, great, we're going to have conversations. We're going to talk about your life. We're going to talk about the stories you tell about where you are, the naming of what you've been carrying here, and the conversation behind all of that. The moon in Taurus is in her exaltation. That's the technical word. And exaltation means that the planet is at her best possible expression in the entire zodiac. This moon in Taurus is the most fed, the most able to feed, and the most receptive seat she ever takes. So if your nervous system feels like it wants to lay down and just be held by something this week, then that is the chart speaking. And the lunar tide is at peak ability to nourish you if you let her. Here's the part most astrologers are skipping. Uranus literally just changed signs like 3 weeks ago. After 8 years of shaking the foundations of money, the body, security, what we thought was real, Uranus crossed from Taurus into Gemini on April 25th, closing a 7-year chapter and opening a new one. And this new moon is sitting at the very end of Taurus, 6 degrees away from where Uranus is now planted in early Gemini. The seed of this lunation being dropped into Taurus soil with the next chapter's air already blowing across it. So the body is still doing the Taurus work, and the mind is being asked to start translating for what Gemini is bringing to the table. Like the mental quickening Uranus is bringing in over the next 7 years, the speed of information, the ideas, the constant changing of what we think we know, that level of stimulation can really only be effectively translated through the body. The body is the slowdown that lets the lightning land. Everything else is just static and noise. A couple more pieces and then we go deeper into the card for this lunation. Now, Pluto just stationed retrograde at 5 degrees of Aquarius on May 6th, which means the whole month, this whole month, Pluto is sitting in a quiet but heavy gravitational pause. When Pluto was direct earlier this year, the collective conversation was loud. Everybody was trying to figure out how to make this whole shit show better, and collectivism really started shining through. Now with Pluto retrograde, the same collective question is turning inward. Same conversation, different register. And on top of all of this, Mars walks into Taurus on May 18th. 2 days after this new moon, Mars in Taurus is in detriment now, his weakest sign placement, because Mars wants speed and Taurus wants slowness. The pressure has to be metabolized into pace. Slow rage, slow action, slow desire, all walking in 2 days behind the seed that's planted from this new moon. So here's the chart. We got a moon at her best, planting at the end of one chapter with one chapter's air already arriving, the collective question turning inward, and a slow drive walking in 40 hours behind all of that. All of it pointing toward the same thing. Now, the decan, or the degree this moon falls into, has a name in the tarot, and it's the Seven of Pentacles. Some traditions call this the Lord of Failure. Other traditions call it fail better. And I want us to think about the card in a register that actually matches what's happening here. Picture this card. We got a figure leaning on a hoe, not the good kind, in a field closer to the house, right? With the plants in the front of them grown and some of the pentacles already ripening on the vine, right? The figure is still pausing though, looking, holding the question the entire suit of Earth lives inside of. The time to do this is now. The job is enormous. How can I ever finish? And yet, how will I ever succeed if I keep delaying the work, the good work? That is the card of this lunation. The Seven of Pentacles is the card of persistence, of committing ourselves to the task even while knowing we can fail, of the day in, day out work, of giving nurture and life to what we've been planting so that the ground is fertile enough for the fruit to be bountiful. It is the card of process. Process, my love, is the entire journey, is the entire point. And here's what I want to say about failure, because that's what this card is associated with, the Lord of Failure, right? Now, that title only sounds bleak when failure is being moralized, when failure is being treated like a verdict on you as a person. The deeper read of this card, the read I think this new moon is asking us to receive, is that failure is an opening toward change. The door, the path reconfigures itself through, the soil getting turned so the next seed has somewhere to go. Can we celebrate failure as an opening toward change? That is the question of this lunation. Now, of course, every degree has a Sabian symbol, a phrase behind that degree, which adds a little something to that. And for this one, it's a Spaniard serenading his señorita. The traditional keyword for this Sabian symbol is constancy, the image of someone standing outside the window, singing regardless of whether the reply comes that night, regardless of how slow the courtship moves. Constancy, devotion, singing in practice, even without the result, even without knowing what's on the horizon. And the question I want you to sit with around that symbol is this: whose song are you actually singing? Whose beat are you marching to? Are you serenading what's actually yours, or are you keeping up the song someone else handed you because that's the song they were taught to sing? Because the new moon in this decan is asking for some form of devotion to the process, to the song, to the serenade. And it's asking you to be very careful about who or what you're devoting yourself to. So slow down, my love. And I really encourage you here to listen to the rhythm of this earth, this body. Plant seeds here, plant seeds now. And now, here's the part I keep coming back to as I sit with this lunation as well. The body is a wise sage, forever keeping score, forever trying to communicate things to us. And often, all we need to do is listen. There's something the personal development conversation tends to get wrong about Taurus. The wellness register makes Taurus about pleasure and treats and self-care, and all of that has a place. We need that. But the deeper register to Taurus, the one this lunation is asking us to receive, is that wisdom is already in you. It's already alive. It is the wisdom of breathing. It's the wisdom of stretching, of caring for your space and the people in it, of doing the simple work of the day with your attention, with your presence, with your time. That is what the bull is plowing. Underneath every decision you're making, every meeting you're walking into, every conversation you're rehearsing in your head, there is a deeper current of intention doing the real work of your life. The seedling in the soil knows what tree it's becoming, and the bull knows what row it's rowing. and you know the pace you actually need to make that seed grow. The world we live in is going to keep handing us distractions to keep us off that current. People are reaching for quick fixes, for answers and systems and experiences that limit our ability to just embrace process. And in this moment, as things are changing so quickly, if you are breathing, if you are moving, if you are in stillness, if you are even consuming this material right here, right now, then trust and believe there is so much of you that is already okay. So much of you is just fine. Can you indulge in that for just this minute? Just how abundant we actually are. Can we appreciate that? Can we appreciate the seedling we are tending to right now as much as we appreciate the willow we want to become? The willow we admire was once a seedling, and the forest we want to walk through is the result of someone planting trees they knew they would never sit under. Whatever you are growing right now, the size of it today has everything to do with the willow it is becoming. Now, here's the decision in front of you this month. And it is a decision, even if you make it without thinking, because your nervous system is making it for you all day long. The decision is in between fighting the slowness and letting the slowness do its work, between installing the anxiety the world keeps trying to put into you and choosing to live at the pace your life is actually moving at. When we fight it, we miss the finer details, the beauty all around us, the quiet knowing that things will unfold, and we start mistaking panic for intuition and the noise of the feed for the rhythm of our own life. When we let the slowness do its work, the body comes back online, the breath lengthens, the pace becomes a gift instead of a punishment. And listen, there is a time and place for action. There is a time and place for initiation. And when Mars moves into Taurus, like literally 2 days after this new moon, it's bringing exactly that. And the message of this new moon, before the action even arrives, is that the rooting comes first. Equal parts to what we want to set fire to, equal parts to how we want to set things ablaze. We have to root in the simplicity we're trying to protect and be in service to that. What we burn down, the structures we dismantle, has to come from a place of rooting first. So here's what I'll offer for working with this new moon. Just this. Take a minute this week to just peel away the obligations and the responsibilities. The ones you have been doing for work, the ones you have been doing for the people who depend on you, the ones you have been doing because the bills come every single month. They will still be there in an hour, trust and believe. But for this moment, can we just peel them away for just a minute and ask yourself, what nourishes you? What fills you? What sustains you? When all those obligations are temporarily set down, what are you actually left with that feels like yours? What's the song you'd sing if no one was asking you to sing the other one? What's the rhythm you'd actually want to move to if you stop trying to keep up with somebody else's pace? That answer that comes from that stillness is the seed we plant. Plant that seed, all right? And just stay with that seed, with your intention, for just a second. For the rest of this month, I really want you to watch what is growing and just watch it with patience, with grace, with care, with love. Whatever you planted at this new moon, leave the roots alone. Trust the soil, trust the time, trust the bull pulling the plow. They know exactly where they're going. When you catch yourself installing the anxiety, when you catch the part of you that is trying to figure it all out after the day should have ended, when you catch yourself racing toward an end goal that the season has yet to arrive at, then come back to this line, this simple, simple mantra, because it is the chef's piece, the chef's kiss for this holy nation. The mantra is as follows: I am on time. I am exactly on time. I am absolutely on time. slowly breathe in each one. I am on time. I am exactly on time. I am absolutely on time. Look, y'all, there is no escape from the great work we're all meant to do in this lifetime. So we might as well find pleasure and stillness and humility in it. You are capable. You are able. You can move through this moment with grace. Let your nervous system really experience that. Let your spine really recognize the sound of your own voice telling you the truth that in this moment, you are more blessed than you think you are. That is the seed and the soil and the medicine of this lunation. So let's come back to the field, right? The bull is still there, still working that plow, still working that row, while the headlines play in the distance and the winds of change are moving everything overhead, and the surface keeps doing what the surface does. And underneath all of that, the steady undercurrent of your clear intention is moving you exactly the way it needs to move you. I encourage you to imbue this new moon with some romanticism. Dance with this new moon, my love. Whatever obligations or responsibilities, whatever's running behind the scenes, that'll still be there. But your breath, this seedling, this song is for you to actually sing it. And the bull is here to remind you that with every breath, every intention, we plant seeds for a new world. This Taurus new moon is asking you to put down this timeline and to just pick up today, to plant and sow seeds of simplicity in the soil that has always been yours, and to just trust what is moving underneath you, underneath all that noise. You are absolutely on time. You are absolutely exactly where you need to be. Now all you got to do is trust and have faith and have gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. If this message resonated with you and you want to do this work in community, well, the collective is now open. My private membership community with audio horoscopes for all 12 rising and sun signs, a workshop that walks you through the longer arc of this new nation, and a whole container just waiting to embrace you and to see you and to witness you. Link is in the description below, as well as a link to a private one-on-one reading with me if you want to map out your karmic mission and purpose in this lifetime. I love you all. Take care of yourselves out there. Take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.